beautiful and talented Portia de Rossi. And before we get to the questions in the audience, I think it's interesting when you were at 80 pounds and you looked in the mirror and you saw, like you said, you had the foresight to say, I got to cover my arms. People think they're too thin. But you still found things wrong with your body when you were that?
Right. I mean, I think that there's that classic image of the anorexic girl looking into a mirror and seeing a really heavy girl reflected back at her. And that's not really how it was for me. I looked in a mirror and I saw that I had very emaciated arms. I saw my bones and I knew that I was underweight. But my eye went straight to the inch of fat that I still had on my stomach and the fat that I still saw on my thighs. And it still does. You know, that's kind of what I do when I look in the mirre. I go to those things that I don't like.
When you look in the mirror today, you see...
Well, when I look in the mirror today, I mean, I really do accept myself from head to toe. This is exactly the weight that I'm supposed to be. This is exactly what... I mean, it's like I've realized it's taken me a long time, but you can't fit a size 8 foot into a size 6 shoe. It's just not going to happen. So... when I look in the mirror now, I realize that this is what I'm supposed to be. And although they are, like... I mean, I don't think that I'm perfect at all.
I do.
Come on.
I do.
But, I mean, I accept the fact that I'm not perfect, and that's the difference. You know, and I would never, ever jeopardize my health or my sanity to try to get those thin thighs that I was always after.
Yeah. Everybody has one part of their body that you look at and your eye goes straight to it, and it's your area that you have that one issue with. We have questions from the audience. Where's Mandy Stevens? Hi, Mandy.
Hi.
Come on out. Mandy, you read the book?
I did, and I loved it. I actually read it overnight. Oh. And I wanted to thank you for putting into words what so many aren't able to say. Oh. And my question is, what should or shouldn't I say to someone I suspect is anorexic?
You know, a lot of people don't say anything at all because they're worried that that person is just going to completely shut them out of their lives. And that actually may happen. But it is really important to say something. And the thing that you should say, well, the thing that I would have responded to was, you look sick, you don't look well, you look like you're suffering. Because the anorexic wants to be admired. I mean, dieting is really hard, and to get down to that weight, you want people to admire you.
So if someone says you're too thin?
Yeah, you're too thin, to me, was more of a compliment than just you're thin. You're too thin? Who can be too thin? I mean, there's a joke about it, you know? You can't ever be too thin. So that just felt like a compliment. And even, you know, I'm worried about you, kind of felt like, I'm worried about you, you're too thin. It was like love wrapped up in a compliment. You know, it's like, oh, she's worried about me, she cares about me, and yet I can't really be too thin. So anything that would suggest that that girl is not as in control as she wants to appear to be is a better thing. Because an anorexic wants control more than anything.
So looks like you're out of control, looks like you're sick. Like,
yeah.
Thank you for reading it in one sitting. It's a great, is it great?
It was great. You should all read it.
It's a great book. Thank you so much, Mandy. All right. Ashley Kuchenmeister.
Hi, Portia. Hi, Ellen.
Hi.
I just received the book a couple days ago, and it was great. The messaging is so important. And before I actually started reading it, I was flipping through looking at the pictures, and there was one picture in particular where I recognized that you were definitely thin, but the thought popped in my head, man, her legs look great. I wish my legs looked a little more like that. And then in actually reading the book, I realized that you had alternated those photos with a conversation with your doctor where he was basically telling you you were destroying your body to look like that. And that was a really powerful moment for me and made me realize these images are so deceiving.
Yeah, they
and
are.
so I want to know your thoughts on how the media portrays women.
Well, I think that, first of all, those pictures, a little airbrushing, I would have looked great. I think it's a real problem. Models these days are as young as 14 years old, before their bodies have even had a chance to develop, before they even get curves and become women. They are held up as images of the perfect, ideal female form. And it's really, really damaging, because as a 40-year-old woman, as a 30-year-old woman, we should not be looking at little kids to try to emulate their bodies. It's just, there's something really, really wrong with that.
Yep.
And I also think that airbrushing is a real problem, because, you know, in order to be that ideal image, you have to dye it. I mean, there's no way around it. And then, you know, they can always kind of cover it up and smooth it over and make you look really great. And I think it's just very damaging. It's just, women have just, it's really hard in the media to just feel completely self-accepting and comfortable with the way that God made you, because, you know, they're always trying to sell us something, to elongate our legs or dye our hair and make ourselves look better. So it's hard to just know that who we are is exactly what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to look.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. We'll be right back. We're back with Portia de Rossi. We have, I guess, a piece of tape that I haven't seen yet. They've kept it from me, and we'll look at it together.
I've changed so much as a person since I've met Ellen. I used to think that the way to be strong was to be tough. I used to think that to be independent was to not need anyone. But she, oh my gosh, she's taught me that the more vulnerable you are, and the softer you are, and the more you allow people into your life and into your heart, the happier you are, and the more valuable you are to other people. Ellen has completely changed the way I look at life. She's made me not worry about what other people think. I mean, I'm still working on that, I have to be honest. But she's taught me that who I am is perfectly good enough, and that I don't have to pretend to be anything other than who I am. And that's been the most incredible gift that she's given me, that anyone could give to anybody that they love.
When I first met her, she was 168 pounds, and I didn't see anything except a brilliant, amazing person. And when I read this book, and I read the self-loathing and how much she hated herself, I was shocked, and it broke my heart. I had no idea how much she hated herself, and I just can only imagine we all have gone through times where we really didn't feel good inside. So this book is so much more. It's a book about self-esteem. It's a book about accepting yourself, and read it for yourself. If you have children, for sure teenage girls should read this book. It is a beautifully written book, and I'm so proud of you, because this is not like her to be, she doesn't like to draw attention to herself. So for her to not only draw attention to herself, but to expose herself in this way is huge, and I'm really proud of you. Unbearable Lightness is currently in bookstores, and everyone in the audience is getting a copy, all of you. Go to our website. You can watch more exclusive footage from Portia's interview. We'll be back.